People just try to overcomplicate things. For example, somebody sent me this on Instagram. They said, Matt, I think Mikey Williams is good, but he's not that good. Like, what? You can't make this stuff up. And the funniest part about it is half of you bozos out there commenting on Mikey and Bronny, you couldn't even throw a paper ball into a trash can. Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the year where we slowly but steadily start talking about basketball content more and more and more. And trust me, I've heard you guys, I've seen the comments. You want basketball content, and you know how it goes around this time of the year. We bring it, but also, gotta say this, it is that time of the year, feels like we make this video once a year, where we talk about what is going on with Mikey Williams and Bronny James. Oh yeah, let me say this at the beginning of the video before I forget. Major shout out to my boy Quick Hoops. He was kind enough to let me use this footage you're seeing right here in this video. Go subscribe to him. I'm gonna leave a link down below. Thank you, my man. I have a lot to say about this situation, and by the way, we're not doing no corny intro, none of that. It's simple. If you like content, consider joining our amazing community, one of the best communities out there. Thank you guys so much to everybody that is subscribed, and if you're not subscribed and debating whether you should or should not, it's free. You can always unsub later. So that is your intro. There's no shock factor, none of that BS. I want to make this extremely clear. We're talking about one topic and one topic only: Mikey Williams, Bronny James. I have a lot to say about these two young men for the main reason, in fact, like I've already stated, we haven't talked about them in over a year. And in this video, I'm going to explain to you why I haven't talked about them. It goes hand in hand. At this point in time, I would say we're mostly a college football channel. If you've been watching the videos, yeah, for the past 4 or 5 months, that's all we've talked about. I think a good way to say it is we're mostly a college football channel that sprinkles in some basketball content here and there if it is some major news. Now, I would love to talk about high school basketball players, the top recruits in college basketball more on this channel, but the truth of the matter is there's not that big of an audience. And that's just the cold hard truth. But to my day ones, the OGs, the basketball community, I still think about you guys and I love you to death. And to my college football community, I also love you guys to death. And I think there's a fine line. I would say 20% of viewers that are here for the football content and basketball content. However, with that being said, I know most people, you're either here for football or basketball content, not both. And that's okay. I get it 100%. You like what you like. Long story short, don't worry, the basketball content is going to be ramping up. And oh yeah, by the way, what about Alabama, baby? We're #1. I've been an Alabama basketball fan for a very long time, and we've been bad really ever since I've been alive, so it's nice to be really good outside of the season we had about 2 or 3 years ago. Anyways, that's besides the point. Matt, lock in. Let's get down to business. We're here to talk about Bronny James and Mikey Williams. I guess we might as well talk about this first. I saw this everywhere. Everybody's talking about it, how Bronny James, he made the McDonald's All-American game, but Mikey Williams didn't. I gotta be honest with all of you. Was I shocked that Mikey Williams didn't make the McDonald's All-American game and Bronny James did? Not a single bit. And to anyone that was shocked about it, I don't think you keep up with basketball whatsoever, and I'll explain why. Reason number 1 as to why I'm not shocked is because there's a lot of politics that go into things like that. Reason number 2 as to why I'm not shocked about this is because y'all gotta understand something. I know a lot of y'all just watch the highlights, but I watch the games and I know the game. Mikey Williams isn't an insane prospect. He's a highlight mixtape player. Is he a good or great high school basketball player? Yes, he is a great high school basketball player, and I'll give him that. But when it comes to comparing him to a lot of these other college athletes and NBA stars, there's not much of a difference, and he doesn't really separate himself. You know why he doesn't separate himself? Because I can go to any one of my local high schools in a 25-mile radius and find a player who is just as, if not better, than Mikey Williams. And that has nothing to do with him whatsoever. That's not me throwing shade, it's just facts. The modern era 2023 of basketball, of sports, is at an all-time high with the athletes surrounding everybody everywhere. And what I mean by that is 15 years ago, if somebody did a windmill dunk, a between the legs dunk in a game, it was Sports Center top 10, but now it's like, that's all you got? You see what I'm saying? It's no longer crazy to see a 9th grader dunk, whereas 20 years ago, it was. It's not that Mikey Williams has quote unquote, and if you don't want to believe that, well, check out my channel. Haven't talked about him in a year, and I don't care to talk about him. Let me know your thoughts down below, but there's everywhere you look. And the one problem with Mikey, we'll talk about this in just a second, is he's only about 6'2". So with all that being said, I'm not too shocked that Mikey didn't get named to the McDonald's All-American game. Moving along here to his tag team partner and duo in this video, Bronny James. I'm sure you guys saw it. I saw it everywhere where people saying, oh, how did he make the McDonald's All-American game? He didn't deserve it and blah, 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 blah. I'm not one of those people. I don't understand why that happens. I'm the type of person who I see when Bronny makes it. I'm like, hey, that's cool. Congrats to him. I don't look at reasons as to why a player shouldn't be there, especially when it comes to a high school kid. We should be congratulating them. However, it's controversial for obvious reasons. He's LeBron's son. And you don't got to be a rocket scientist to figure out. I'm not going to talk about it too much where people are saying, oh, well, he only got named to that because of his dad. I'm not going to get into that debate because I'm sure you've heard many arguments for it. Here's what I'm going to say about the McDonald's All-American drama, and we're going to get a move on. Me, myself, I have no problem whatsoever with Bronny James being named a McDonald's All-American. And I also have no problem whatsoever if Mikey would have been named a McDonald's All-American. You know why I don't have a problem with it? Number one, I want to see everybody succeed and be great. But number two, they're both outstanding basketball players. That's all I'm going to say about that in the conversation. At the end of the day, I also don't think it matters too much. Moving along from that subject, y'all can debate it in the comment section. I also need to address this. Although for the past 4 or 5 months, we've been a college football channel, that's all we talked about. I kid you not, the past 4 or 5 months, whether it be Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook Messenger, Apple Pay, it doesn't matter. The number one most requested video on this channel has either been Mikey Williams or Bronny James. I kid you not, you guys blow me up wanting me to talk about them, and I understand it. So I do want to address why I haven't spoken about these two guys in about a year. I'm going to be blunt and harsh in this next statement, but it's the cold hard truth. I don't care what Mikey Williams is doing, and I also don't care what Bronny James is doing. Sure, if there's some highlight play or whatnot on the court, yeah, it's cool to see or whatnot, but I don't care what Mikey Williams and Bronny do off the court because they're 18 years old. I'm 22. What do I look like as a 22-year-old grown man talking about 18-year-olds off the court? And I'm just going to let it all out. The reason I don't even talk about them on the court is I don't care about high school basketball too much, and I don't care what they do on the court. You know why I don't talk about it? It's the same reason I don't talk too much about these college football players when they're in high school. It's the same old story. Not just a 4 or 5-star recruit, but most 2-star recruits, whether it's high school basketball or high school football, they are going to dominate their competition. There's nothing to talk about. End of story. Mikey Williams is a great high school basketball player, and Bronny James is also great. That's it. I know you guys want me to make videos on them, but there's nothing more to say, and I'm not just going to make a video to make a video. Now, when they get to college, that's a different story because I don't mind covering college athletes, but high school athletes as a 22-year-old man, I think it's kind of weird. And I get it. You guys want to understand my perspective. You want me to talk about it here and there, but I'm tired of seeing comments, and not just people commenting to me, but I see it on Twitter, people saying, oh, is Mikey Williams falling off? Oh, is Bronny James really that good? And blah, 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 blah. I don't want y'all to take this the wrong way. Living in 2023 is flat out amazing. It's the best time to be alive. And y'all know what I'm talking about. There's these people, I call them in real life weirdos that go, oh man, I was born in the wrong time frame. I should have been born in the 1980s or 1990s. Like, what? There wasn't even Wi-Fi back then. To find out information in the 90s, you had to go to your library or find it out from some old neighbor. Now, you can find out anything on your phone. Think about that. I always find it so corny and stupid when people say that, and y'all know what I'm talking about. Anything you want to learn, anything you want to find out, you can either A, go to Google and type it in, or B, you can look up a YouTube video of how to be a rocket engineer, and I guarantee you, after watching a ton of videos and doing a ton of research, you could become a rocket engineer. Whoa, 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 hold on. I know what you're sitting there saying. Yo, Matt, what does that have to do with anything? And hear me out. I wanted to make it clear that living in 2023 is the best time to be alive. However, I hate this one aspect of it. We now live in the time frame and era of social media, and also the time frame and era of bashing and beating everyone down. You got a handful of people, I'm not going to say most people, but there's probably 20% of people when they see a great basketball player, they go, okay, yeah, he's pretty good, but this part about his game, it's not good. Or, yeah, he's not going to make it to the NBA. It's just hater energy. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. And the best part about this is there's people right here, right now. You're that person where you wake up and you're actually a real life hater. Believe it or not, there's people who live to hate. And unfortunately for Mikey and Bronny James, those people, they come after you. I don't just make videos to make videos. There's nothing interesting whatsoever about going, hey, Mikey Williams just dropped 25 again. Bronny James just dropped 15 or 20 again. Are they overrated or underrated? What y'all think? There's nothing going on with these guys. They're good basketball players. That's it. End of conversation. People just try to overcomplicate things. For example, somebody sent me this on Instagram. They said, Matt, I think Mikey Williams is good, but he's not that good. Like, what? You can't make this stuff up. And the funniest part about it is half of you bozos out there commenting on Mikey and Bronny, you couldn't even throw a paper ball into a trash can. That's all I got for y'all. Number one, if you want to see more basketball content, let me know in the comment section. And two, let me know some ideas in the comment section that you guys want to see, because I only want to make content you guys want to see. And when I say some real content, I mean serious topics and ideas, not just me trying to criticize Bronny or Mikey, because I'm not going to do it. I'm not. And if you don't want to believe that, well, check out my channel. I haven't talked about him in a year, and I don't care to talk about him. Let me know your thoughts down below, but